Yeah, I used to dress like that. Me and Bobby Darin used to dress like that back in the day. Yeah.
Let's Plumber!
Hi, folks. I just came from a wedding. What a start. The groom tried to put the ring on the bride's finger and she gave him the wrong finger. Two guys came from the city the other day, knocked on my door, and they wanted a donation for the local swimming pool. So I gave them a glass of water. I went to the bank the other day and I said to the banker, can you check my balance? So he pushed me. And the other banker gave up his girlfriend because he lost interest. And then I made a killing on the stock market the other day. I shot my broker. And then the police are after me, and they want to know where I was between 5 and 6. So I told them I was in kindergarten, and they let me go. And then all the toilet seats were stolen in police headquarters, and now the police have nothing to go on. And then I was engaged to a girl that had a wooden leg, but I broke it off. I was going out with this girl who was a hypnotist, and everybody wanted to know what it's like going out with a hypnotist. So I said, who knows? My wife, she's such a wonderful person, forced me to marry her. So now I haven't spoken to her in 18 months. I don't like to interrupt her, you know. And then she went to the hairdresser the other day. She got a mud pack, and for 2 days she looked great, and then the mud fell off. And then she's such a lousy cook, the garbage disposal threw up last week. And she's so fat, she passed the TV the other night, and I missed 3 episodes. At least I got my fan club over here, you know? And then I took my wife to the zoo, and the hippos got jealous. And the other day, she asked me to come upstairs and make love to her. And I told her I can't do both. And then at the age of 65, I got that disease called colitis. Every time you walk, your balls collide. That hurts, you know? So. And then I was going to tell you my penis joke, but it's too long. And then the nurse came into my bedroom in the hospital the other night, and I told her my penis died, and she didn't say anything. She walked out. The next day, I'm walking in the hallway, all exposed. So she comes running over to me. She says, "What are you doing?" And I told her, "Today's the viewing." You know what I mean? So I went to the doctor's office, and I asked him, I said, what should I do about my drinking? He said, well, you have to watch your drinking, so now I sit in front of the mirror and drink. And then I said to the doctor, the other doctor, he examined me, he says to me, well, you only got 6 months to live. So I told him I can't pay your bill. He says, all right, I'll give you another 6 months. And the other doctor said to me, I asked him, I said, what do you have for wind? So he gave me a kite. And then I went to the psychiatrist, and he says, what's wrong with you? I said, well, I think I'm a cat. He said, well, how long are you thinking like that? I said, since I was a kitten. And then I saw him the other day walking down the street with his couch. And I said to him, where you going? He says, I'm making a house call. And then I went to the other psychiatrist, and he says, what's the matter with you? I says, I think I'm an auto mechanic. He says, all right, get under the couch. I want to leave you with another joke. That's me. See, I'm the only comedian that don't have an audience, you know what I'm saying? And I went to get Social Security, and I standing there, and the girl says to me, where's your ID? I says, well, I forgot my ID. So I was going to go home. So she said to me, no, come over here, open your shirt up. I want to see your gray hairs. So with that, I did that. She says, well, you look old enough, she says. She said, I'm going to give you a Social Security. I said, okay. I go home, I tell my wife, and she says, well, you should have dropped your pants. You might have got disability. And then I went to the rabbi the other day, and I said to the rabbi, I said, I think my wife's trying to poison me. So he says, all right, I'll call up your wife, and I'll call you back. Next day he calls me back. He says, I spoke to your wife for 3 hours. Take the poison. And then, did I tell you that I was on my honeymoon and I was on the way to the Fontainebleau Hotel? And as I was driving, I put my hand on her knee and she says, you know, honey, you can go further. So I drove to Key West. I dog into the veterinarian the other day, and the dog, you know, the vet came out and he says, you know, the dog's not moving, it might be gone. I says, well, I don't know about that. But anyway, he says, put the dog down on the table. So he puts the dog down on the table, he goes in the back, and he brings out a cat, and the cat's running around the dog and around and around. He says, you see, the dog's not moving. So he says, well, I guess it's gone. So anyway, I said to the vet, I said, what do I owe you? He says, well, you owe me $700. $700? He says, yeah, it's $100 for my visit and $600 for the cat scan. And then the other day I was on the way, I was driving my penguins in the car, and the cop stopped me and he says, look, you take these penguins right back to the zoo. So the next day he sees me driving with the penguins again. He says, I told you to take the penguins back to the zoo. I said, I did. Now I'm taking them to the beach. I was on ice and I wanted to go ice fishing, you know, and I'm ice fishing out there and I start chopping the ice, see? And all of a sudden the voice says to me, there's no fish down there. So I packed up everything, I moved 10 feet and I start chopping on the ice and the voice says again, there's no fish down there. Well, I picked up everything, I'm tired already, so I moved all the way down 50 feet and I start chopping on the ice and all of a sudden the voice says to me, I told you there's no fish down there. So I looked up and I said, God, is that you talking to me? He says, no, I'm the manager of the ice skating rink. And I'm just going to finish up with one other thing, and that's the fact that I was very fortunate. I got an audience with the Surgeon General, so I sat down and he offered me a cigarette. And I'll tell you right now, I feel like a muffler. I'm exhausted. Good night, thank you.